Chat, put your tinfoil hats on, because I have a theory. I have a theory why basically the thing with TDS is so huge, and why if he says something, people immediately want to do the exact opposite. Here is my theory, okay? And again, it is a theory. I was thinking about this like several weeks ago, like a while back, and I think that magic stick. I'll explain later. Okay. Here's my theory. The reason why why certain people have such a visceral and vocal reaction to everything that Trump says and does is for one reason. And it's the way that he presents himself. Okay, putting politics aside, putting policies aside and executive orders aside, and decisions he's made. Take all that and put that aside. Okay, take all that and put that aside. The reason why you have so many of these people is because the way he presents himself. It's Revan. Actually, no, I'm going to disagree. It's not that he's unapologetic and just himself. No, I don't think that's it. I think it's because he comes off as like an affect. His affect is he acts like he wants to be a Brooklyn tough guy. He wants to be a mob boss. And point blank, he's an asshole. Point blank. The way Donald Trump presents himself when he speaks publicly, particularly since he's held the office of president, he presents himself as an asshole. And while there's nothing wrong with basically like doing straight talk or being tough on certain topics and telling it like it is, it's that there's no problem with that. But he literally, every time he talks, he acts like a complete fucking asshole. And Canito, it's what I don't like about him. Is when he speaks publicly, he's very self-indulgent. He's constantly talking about bullshit that means nothing. And he acts like a complete jack-off to people that ask questions to him. Or he will address people like, I'm the biggest asshole in the room and you're going to feel it. He doesn't present himself as someone who, tells it like it is and is a quote unquote straight shooter. He goes light years beyond that and talks like a person that I would have nothing to do with. If I was face to face with a person like him and he talked to me that way, I'd say, deuces. I'm not gonna fucking talk to you if you're gonna treat me like a piece of shit just because I'm standing here. In my theory, that is why so many people don't like him. That is why there's been such a visceral response, is because when people have not read about it, not like gone schizo about it, but when people have like said, okay, this doesn't make much sense. Why are you saying this? This doesn't really make sense. You're kind of wrong about this. His immediate response is, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. You're low energy, or you're not funny, or he basically defaults to insults, which denotates which on its face would make someone think that this person doesn't know what the hell they're talking about because they instantaneously devolve to insults. And so I think it's my theory is so many people hate him. So many people have the TDS is because of the way he presents himself. If he dialed back the assholery at least by half, there might not actually be this visceral response. When you have someone who is a president, yes, you want them to be tough. You want them to talk straight. You want them to basically say, look, this is what is happening. This needs to be done. Some people are not going to like it, but this is what is best for the country. But he doesn't do this. What he does is he says, this is what we're going to do. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. That's how he operates. And yeah, he's getting a ton of support from his side because he's not talking to them. That's the key thing. He's not talking to them like that. And it's just my theory is if he dialed back on the asshole. I mean, at this point I freely admit it's too late in the game. And even if he dialed back on it now, there's no stopping this at this point.
The interesting thing is the same people who liked him had no issue with him before he ever ran. Coincidence? Who knows?
The people that liked him and had no issue with him before he ever ran was because he was useful to them. It's because they were able to benefit off of him. So anyway, that's my theory as to why people go absolutely, why the left goes absolutely crazy whenever he says something is literally his affect in how he presents himself. He is just 100% of the time, I'm a complete fucking asshole and I want you to hate me. And I'm sorry, as a leader of a country, no. I'm sorry, I strongly disagree with that affect. Okay, look at me in my screen, okay? Look at me in my screen. I do not mince words. I don't mince words. If something is fucked up, I will call it like I see it. And I won't mince words about it. I will call it the fuck out when I see it. Right? I can be a class A bitch if need be. All right? But at the same time, I also appreciate that people are human, and I appreciate that for some people that when there's a group of people and I might go off on them, I also appreciate that I'm not lumping them all in together at the same time. I also admit when I make a mistake. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think if he had taken attacked, I'm not trying to boast and say that I'm better at this than Donald Trump is. Don't mistake me. I'm not saying that. It's if he basically would allow, not allow, but if he was just more fucking human. Yes, you can rage about something. You're human. You can absolutely rage. But at the same time, there's no compassion in what he says. Everything he does is for ratings. He works off of a standard of ratings, and like you said, who was that said that? Mechanist? Yeah, he basically does it for content. And that's the problem. Deacon, no one's keen on that. No one is. Yeah, exactly, Moose. Exactly. If you need to be tough, you need to be tough. If you need to be an asshole, you be an asshole in that moment. If the situation calls for it. You don't do that 100% of the time. Therein lies the problem. When you're an asshole, when your president acts like an asshole 100% of the time, this is what happens. You get this severe divide. And unfortunately, we are at a point where it's too late in the game. if he tries to dial it back now, it's too fucking late. The ideology is already entrenched. The divides are already so wide and so deep that making a change now is not going to make a difference. And that's the unfortunate part. If he had like made a change back during his first term, yeah, people would have. You're always gonna have people that disagree. That's always gonna happen. With any president, you're gonna have people that like you, people that hate you, and a whole bunch in the middle. Problem is, he started things off acting like an asshole, acting like I'm the biggest asshole in the room, and I'm doing this for the ratings, and I'm doing this for the content, and he never stopped. And that's the problem. That is why so many people hate him. That's why TDS is a thing. He caused it by the way he behaved. It has nothing to do with his politics, has nothing to do with his executive orders. Doesn't have it largely probably doesn't have much to do with that. It's the way he has presented himself, like he is an asshole wannabe mob boss. And yeah, plenty of people loved it, but plenty of people hate it. And the divide is so sharp that it's split the country in half. If he if he balanced it with humanity and compassion, we wouldn't be where we are now. And that's my theory. An Ember theory.